program is made possible by more air, heating, cooling, and mechanical, residential, and commercial. Good evening, OHSAA football fans from near and far. Waycross Community Media, the WCM, is proud to open its coverage of 2021 football in Ohio. I'm Jake Williams, here to bring the call. Tonight's game serves as a fine way to observe the old Beatles axiom of you say goodbye and I say hello. Tonight's Warrior fans will say hello to the Chad Murphy era of Winton Woods football from the home of the Trotwood Madison Rams. Now, last time I saw these storied programs hook up was during the 15 playoffs when Coach Andre Parker and Maurice Douglas met. But now, as we open the 2021 campaign, things are different. The Rams have graciously stepped up to host this affair due to construction still ongoing at the Fred. The Rams are in Division III now, and Maurice Douglas has moved on. From his years here, I now think of these Rams first as repping the mascot name Rams. Coach Dre posted a win last night in his first game at the helm of the Viking ship of Princeton. Now, under Chad Murphy, the Warriors will rebuild, but his teams that I've covered at Northwest High were solid and will play with their hair on fire for him. Now, the officials in tonight's game, before we get too far along, are Carl Dyer, Ian Lindsay, Joe Henning, Rodney Smith, and Eddie Weinberg. You see the teams are out on the field. Officials getting ready to get this thing kicked off. And wouldn't you know it, just as the game is getting ready to get underway, here comes the raindrops. So by the time this game is over, it could be raining men. So it looks like the Winton Woods Warriors will receive the opening kick, where the Rams won the toss and deferred. Warriors are going to defend the south end zone. So we see where Trotwood Madison, they come in here and talking to their assistant coach, Trey Williams. You know, he pointed out to where they're going to be running a very similar I formation offense that they work so well with Antoine Gilbert and Bam Bradley making and running through holes. So we see the special teams getting ready to get this thing kicked off. All the lights, stadium lights are on now. And again, Mother Nature couldn't have timed this any better for her, I guess. It's pouring down right now. Okay, so here's Trotwood Madison, special teams. Getting ready to jump this thing off. And he steps into this ball. We're underway here. Ball's caught on the 23-yard line. Moving north with the ball around the tackle, and they forced out of bounds, looking like the Warriors will put this thing in gear, starting off at their own 34-yard line. At the 34-yard line, the Warriors will have the ball first and 10. So the Warriors offense takes the field. Their starters on offense. Looks like we're going to have number 75 at left tackle, Henry Johnson Jr. Left guard, number 62, Will Edwards. Center, number 70, Jalen Gooding, a junior. Right guard, number 74, Andrew Thompson, a senior. Right guard, right tackle, number 68, Demarion Stone, a senior. Wide receiver, number 2, Derek Lawson, a senior. Wide receiver, number 26, K.C. Spears, a junior. Wide receiver, number 14, Antonio Turner. Wide receiver, number 3, Caden Sanders. And running back, number 22, Tyreek Spikes. And the quarterback, number 15, Buddy Ellery, a senior. And he's got the first shotgun snap, and he gives to Spike. Spikes has to force his way to the outside where he's hauled down by the Ram defense. So it'll be second down behind the sticks the way it looks for the Warriors. So here comes the Warriors. They break the huddle. Come up on the ball here. In the pistol. Buddy Ellery got a man in motion, turns. And there's no footing. The Warrior running back slips and falls. Hauled down, so it's going to be third down and behind the sticks here. Our sponsor for today's game is the proud resources of More Air, where they've been a sponsor with Waycross, the WCM now for a few years, and we appreciate their efforts on behalf of our young students. There's a snap, straight drop, whistle blown. Okay, so that's going to be on the Warriors, so they're going to have to move it back some more. So this opening drive for the Warriors looks like they're going backwards. So here they are. There's a snap, straight drop. Looking to throw this ball deep over the middle, and it's off the shoulder pad of his intended receiver at the 45-yard line of the Rams. That's number 2, Derek Lawson, trying to haul it in. So looks like Warriors are going to be forced to punt this ball on this 4th and 14 here. It's like the Rams, they got one receiver standing on his 45 and another standing on his 40. And here's the kick. In over in, high kick. Fair catch called for. Caught at the Trotwood Madison 38-yard line where they'll put it in gear on offense. Rams will have it first and 10. Defensive starters for the Warriors are going to be number 44, defensive end, Jaden Denton, a senior. Number 4, defensive tackle, Jerron Gibson, a senior. Number 58, defensive tackle, Terran Macklin, a junior. And we'll get to more after the snap. Offense of the Rams looking this thing over. Here's that I formation we spoke of. Give to the second man through, just like they used to do with Bam Bradley and Antoine Gilbert. Stop for a short gain of 2. You see the replay here. We're straight south, in this case, with the ball, and Warrior hats on defense are waiting. Another starter is on Warrior defense. Defensive end, Cameron Jackson. Linebacker, 7 blue. That's number 6, and he's 7 blue. So here come the Rams, looking this thing over. Quarterback now under center. Turns and gives. And the Warrior defense has met him in the backfield. And he's hauled down for no gain on the play.
Loss of 1 is going to bring 3rd and 9 for the Rams.
Offensive players on the Rams include Delmar Blanton, Timothy Carpenter, quarterback number 10. Timothy Carpenter the third at quarterback number 10. Demarion Stevens at running back, number 15. Malachi Johnson, wide receiver. Now here come the Rams up on the ball. Got twins to the far side of the field. Under center. Straight drop. Looking to throw this ball. He's flushed out of the pocket. Number 9. And that ball is incomplete. Defended. You see on the replay there was D-line was picked up by the O-line, but when he scrambles out of the pocket, makes his throw. Ward defenders right there. That's number 25, Cameron Calhoun. So we see the weird-looking punt formation being employed by the Rams here. Warriors have a man standing on his own 35-yard line awaiting his kick. Rain has temporarily subsided, and this kick is off. It's going to take a bounce, picked up by the Warrior receiver. There's a flag on the play, and he's thrown down rudely on his own 32-yard line. Make that 33-yard line.
Warriors will take over 1st and 10.
So this will be the Warriors' second time with the ball tonight. Made the trip up from Cincinnati. This game had to be played here at this location due to construction issues down at Frederick Stadium. Talk more about those later. I think they're going to interfere with a game or two in the future next week. So there's the snap. There's the give to Spikes. Trying to get around in, but the defender, to his credit, wasn't having it. Short gain, maybe 2 yards for the Warriors.
It's going to bring up 2nd down.
You see here, looks like Trotwood Madison, and I spoke too soon about the rain subsiding because now it's coming back with fury. Okay, so here's the Warrior offense. Quarterback Buddy Ellery, number 15, he's got the snap, straight drop, but he's snowed under. But a flag on the play, we'll have to see what that involves. But for now, the Ram defense has a sack.
It's holding. Let's check to see here. Holding. Warriors. That penalty is declined. Sack at the 28 by Walker.
So here we are, first Warriors offense slammed incomplete on that pass.
Intended for number 3, Sanders. It's going to bring up 4th down. 15 for the Warriors. Steals back to punt. Freeman and Blanton back deep for the Rams.
Okay, so the Warriors in punt formation on this 4th and 13. Can't get untracked on offense. Kick is off. Spiral kick, it lands on the 38. Receiver lets it roll, and the Warrior defenders put a stop to it on the Ram 35-yard line, where they'll put it in gear, 1st and 10.
From their own 35 with 7:28 remaining in the first quarter.
$7:28 remaining in the first quarter, and you know, this will be the second possession for the Rams as they break the huddle and come up on the ball on their 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Whistle.
Flag on the play.
And Timothy Carpenter III, he looks like a respectable quarterback.
Against the Warriors.
Looks like he's got all the necessary tools and talent. And we'll have to see what kind of scouting report the Ward defense has on this guy and keep him under wraps. So here we are. Looks like they picked up 5 yards, 1st and 5. Whoa, he's hit in the backfield and hammered down. That's number 55 putting a stop to him on there.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Rams.
2nd and 9 for the Rams, and got a number 64 checking into the huddle on offensive line, replacing number 72 who just jumped out. Okay, so here we are. Here's the Rams. The man left a little early. It looks like the Rams are going to be going backwards on this one.
False start. Rams. It's going to back them up 5. It's going to be 2nd and
It's
14.
Timothy Carpenter III. He's looks like a good talent. Sophomore quarterback, 6'4", 200 pounds. This guy probably can bust it loose in open field and make people wish and hurt. Okay, so here we are. Whistle again.
Flag on the play.
No flag on the play.
Warriors will give that 5
Offsides on Winton Woods now here.
Winton Woods, 5-yard penalty, going to bring up 2nd and 9.
So this is going to bring it at 2nd and 9. There's a snap. He's rolling, rushed out of the pocket. Williams is chasing him around the corner, and he's hit hard, but not until he picks up a 1st down.
Gain of 10 yards. Enough for a 1st down.
That's number 7, Jermaine Matthews on the stop out there.
1st and 10 from their own 47. 6 minutes, 5 seconds left in the first quarter of play.
We see where Timothy Carpenter made a quick decision, knows his wheels, won't let him down as long as he makes a timely decision. So we see the Rams break the huddle and come up on the ball here. Under center in their steady I formation. Straight drop, he gives, but he is run out to the edge. There's a flag on the play. He stopped for about a yard loss. We'll see what the flag is about here.
A loss of 1, flag on the play, indication is holding. Trotwood. 10-yard penalty from responding to the foul. They will replay 1st down. It will be 1st and 20 for the Rams. If you have lost your keys and you have a Green Bay Packers lanyard, well, we don't know why you would have that, but if you have a Green Bay Packers lanyard and have lost your keys are at the pass gate.
Okay, under center in the I formation behind him, straight drop. Looking to throw this ball. It's caught. But the Ward defender is right there. to put a stop to any yards after catch. That's number 7 there for the Warriors on defense, Jermaine Matthews, junior defensive back. Jermaine Matthews also had a hand in there from Quentin Jenkins Jr., number 24. Okay, so they're calling this 1st and 10. So here to Trotwood Madison up on the ball. You see Timothy Carpenter throwing this ball incomplete, just through the hands of his intended receiver, number 28 there. That's Darian Owens. So the Warrior defense, they got him in this 3rd and 11 situation. Now it's up to them to put the hammer down and get off the field here. This could be a big swing in field position if they could stop them here. Here we see the Rams break the huddle up on the ball. There's the snap, straight drop. Here comes the defense of the Warriors. This ball nearly fumbled, but number 4 in there on defense for the Warriors, putting a stop to all that. That's Jaron Gibson, a senior defensive tackle. And we see that he was not going to be denied on that sack. So this is going to have the Rams on their own 37-yard line. Warriors standing on his own 34-yard line to receive this kick. Yeah, they're about to punt to the Warriors here. Bad snap or bad recovery, and he's down. The ball is out on the floor. Winwood's ball. Yes, it is. And the Winwood's Warrior offense will take over on the Trotwood Madison Ram 25-yard line. This is what you need to get your momentum started there. We see where the would-be punter had to do a infielder number just to come up with that ball, or else it would have been a total disaster. So here comes the Warriors offense onto the field. Okay, so it looks like the Ram defense stepped up there and filling in some of these gaps. Took the Warriors down for a loss of 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 15. So 2nd and 15. Quarterback Buddy Ellery, number 15, straight drop, throws his ball over the middle, and there's contact, and it's going to be probably pass interference against the Trotwood Madison Rams. Ball was a little bit underthrown, which had the inadvertent effect of causing the Ram defender to bump the Warrior receiver a little bit early there. So we'll see what the officials come up with. I don't know if they're going to call this uncatchable, but it looked like it would have been. It looks like they're marching these yards off against the home team Rams. See here on the replay, Ellery straight drop, throws his ball kind of like 50-50, hoping that his man, yeah, that was definitely on the defender there. So the Warriors are going to put this ball down on the Ram 15-yard line here. 1st and 10. The way it looks tonight with these conditions, they got to score something here. There's Ellery, got a man in motion. He gives inside, and Carey out around right in. He's got two guys beat, and he's in their first down territory, probably close to the 2 or 3 yard line for a first down here.
At the 3-yard line.
2:26 left to go in the first quarter. Ellery awaiting the snap. He's got it. Turns and gives, but the Ram defense says, I don't think so here.
Number 20, Minor, the carry. Ball down in the backfield by the interior line of the Rams. Loss of 3. Second and goal from the 6.
This is where the Ram defense is knowing they got to bow their necks on this to stop the Warriors from getting in the end zone and be willing to take their chances with the a field goal attempt, if any. So here are the Warriors. Pistol formation. There's Ellery, got a man in motion. There's Ellery with the snap, straight back. Ellery throws this ball in the corner to his man. Touchdown for the Winton Woods Warriors. Man left standing all alone in the end zone.
To Smith for the Warrior touchdown.
See on the replay here, Ellery plants his foot, steps up into that pocket. And nice catch. That's his man number 26 on that catch. That's K.C. Spears. Oh, they're going to try this PAT. See number 87, Dan Umba Dombele. And the hold is down. The kick is up. That kick is good. So, with 1:41 left to go in the first quarter here from Trotwood Madison, we have a score of the Winton Woods Warriors 7 and the Trotwood Madison Rams nothing. So we see on the replay again where, that's the play where they were stopped. So it looks like having that turnover deep in the Ram territory was the medicine that the Warrior offense needed to get on track. Here we see on the replay again, his man is wide open, and it's a good thing he made that catch. Plenty of good blocking up front on the O-line, protecting Ellery. So the Warriors will kick this thing off now. See again, Ellery, hung tough in there. He knew he was going to take a hit, and he still made a nice throw.
Cleveland and Heflin back deep for the Rams. Normally kick off for the Warriors.
So more air. First time this year they've been covering our sports for the WCM, and they got an early touchdown by the Warriors. So under Chad Murphy, they're going to start their era in the lead. And kick is off, but we got a whistle saying the Warriors special teams were offside. Just a tad on that.
False start against the Warriors. 5-yard penalty and re-kick.
So they'll tack on this 5-yard penalty and force the Warriors special teams back for this re-kick. And now that the Warriors have this lead, we'll see how stout they get on defense to protect that lead. So the Warriors special teams teed up again. So, once again, I'm happy to be here, covering Winton Woods football for the 2021 campaign. Last year was their first year in the ECC conference, and from what I understand, they ended the regular season in a tie with Kings, but in the playoffs, they beat Kings. Okay, so here's the Rams with the ball, and he's up to his 30-yard line. He's still on his feet. He's going to be going down the sideline. He's got blockers, but the Warrior defenders finally get him shoved out of bounds. Looks like near the Warrior. They're going to call him out of bounds on the 50-yard line. The official says he stepped out on the 50. So we see on the replay again. Oh, he follows his blockers and he takes what he can get. So this ball is going to be put in play on the 50-yard line. And we see on the replay that's where he did, in fact, step out of bounds. So these officials so far tonight are on the case. Okay, so the ball's put down. Timothy Carpenter III under center. Got the I formation behind him. There's a give to the first man through, and he carries defenders with him, still on his feet. And he looks like he's got about a 9-yard carry. We'll see on the replay here, good hats up front, protect them through that hole. And, guys was hitting him, but he was bouncing off. Still on his feet, 2nd and 3 now. Come the Rams, I formation again. They were so effective with that under Bam Bradley and Antoine Gilbert. There's a turn to second man through, number 11. He's been wrapped up in the backfield for no gain on the play. Looks like the rain is finding another gear here, and it's really pelting it on us here. So we facing a 3rd and 4, clock moving, 31 seconds left to go in the first quarter here. Clock still moving. Here comes the Rams as they break the huddle. Carpenter under center. Gives to the first man through. He's got many people where he's knocked him over and still on his feet. And this number 11, he's picked up enough for a first down. Reggie McCone. Okay, that's number 28 here. Okay, so here comes timeout being called. Well, no, that's the end of the first quarter. So after a quarter play here from Trotwood Madison, we have a score of your Winton Woods Warriors 7 and the Trotwood Madison Rams 0. So we see, again, the Warriors, their second year in this ECC conference, and they're looking to have a clear winner of the conference this year. Last year, due to the circumstances which no one could control, it worked out that they ended the regular season with a tie with Kings Knights. But this program we have tonight is made possible by More Air, heating, cooling, and mechanical, residential and commercial. More Air has been with Waycross Media for a number of years now, and hopefully more. More Air. So we start the second quarter. The Rams with the ball on the Warrior 35-yard line. We see the Warriors faithful have brought a good crowd with them. Trek up here to Trotwood. This looks like the wind is picking up. So, give inside, but where defenders are there. It's like we got a little bit of extracurriculars between a couple of guys there. Number 55 and didn't catch the other number. We'll have to keep an eye and see how that develops over the course of things. Rams now formation. There's a give to the second man through, number 11, but the Ward defenders are there. Gang tackling there. Mini hats waiting for him. There's number 9 on the main stop for him. So this has it at 3rd and 13. This is where the Ward defense wants to get off the field. So the Rams are up on the ball. Visibility is starting to be a factor. Straight drop. He's flushed out of the pocket. He's avoiding defenders, but they finally got him down on the 50-yard line, and that's where this drive started. The Ward defense rising to the occasion. We see on the replay, they just knew they got to rush this guy, because my feeling is that just looking at his athletic skill set, give this guy enough room and he'll beat you with his feet. Dan was up. Okay, so here come the Rams. Break the huddle. Just punt. The Warriors have a receiver standing on his own 20-yard line and waiting his kick. And they got him. He broke off, and now he's going to run for it. But he's going to get shoved out of bounds at the 38-yard line of the Warriors.
Forced out of bounds is not going to result in enough for a first down for the Rams. The Warriors will take over 1st and 10 from their own 40.
So the Warrior offense, good heads-up alert play on their special teams. So it looks like the weather is definitely factoring in the decision-making of the coaches. Probably feel this ball is pretty wet now. So here comes the Warriors out on offense to address this thing. There's Ellery back there waiting for the snap. He's got Spikes Woodhams. Spikes moves off to his left. Man in motion. There's the give to Spikes. He's around right in, but the Rams defender, number 1, is there to say, I don't think so.
Spikes takes the handoff. Around right in for no gain. Brought down by Heflin.
See on the replay, you know, Spikes, to his credit, tried to go straight north with the ball, but number 1 there was doing his job, and the way it looks is I'm going to be left to just call these guys by number because Mother Nature decided to make a sponge out of my rosters. Back to throw. Ellery, he runs into the pocket on his own, makes a guy miss, and he gets good yardage. Looks like he's picked up about 5-yard gain on the carry. Flag on the play here.
Indication is holding.
It's like they're calling holding against the Warriors, so that's going to be nullified.
It's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot.
That 10-yard penalty from the spot has this ball where it's going to be marked on the Warrior 25-yard
It's going to
line.
bring up second down, 25 for the Warriors.
Okay, so here's the Warriors ready to address this. There's the snap. Ellery straight drop, throws his ball through the hands, outstretched hands of his intended receiver out there in the left flat.
Quarterback's pass, ball's incomplete. Flag on the play.
It's going to bring it to a third down and 25. This is where the Warriors got to make sure they execute. Ram defense. This is where they could make their presence felt. Disconnect somebody from the ball, get good field position, or possibly a touchdown. We'll see what happens. Ellery, he plants his foot and runs. He's through a couple of would-be tacklers, but they finally get him down. Looks like at his own 38-yard line where it'll be 3rd and 12. 4th and 12. See on the replay, Ellery made a good move and just too many yards had to be picked up. Okay, so the Warriors are going to have to punt this ball over, and Rams, they got receivers standing on their 40 and on their 32-yard line awaiting this kick. And the kick is off. In over and kick, looks like it's going out of bounds. It's near the sideline at about the 34, 5-yard line. Official's going to call it at the 32-yard line where the Rams will put it in gear on their own 32.
Rams will take over 1st and 10 at their own 32.
7:15 left to go in the half. So here's the Ram offense. Starting on their own 32-yard line. 1st and 10. Timeout called. Carpenter didn't like what he saw and throws up the tee. So they'll come over here and talk it over.
By the officials. The back judge will now hold his hand up when there's 5 seconds remaining on the play clock. As we have a malfunction with the play clock.
So it sounds like there's some equipment malfunction going on here with the play clock, where the officials are going to have to supplement with their input as to exactly when there's 5 seconds left on the play clock. And whenever you get all this water and moisture, it's bound to seep in and cause fits with electrical issues. So here's the words on defense. Once again, you'll have to forgive me just to be in the first game of the season, and I don't know numbers and players by heart, but my rosters have been totally turned into a sponge by the rain. So we see Carpenter looking it over. Got the I formation behind him. There's the pitch. He throws his ball out to the right flat. It's complete. And this guy's running for good yardage after the catch. Looks like they're going to have him down on the 40-yard line. See here on the replay,
indication is holding against the Rams.
so there's a penalty on that play. They call it holding against the Rams. Takes that ball back where they'll put it down at the Ram 29-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10.
It's going to bring up 1st and 19 for
Oh,
the Rams.
excuse me, make that 1st and 19 as the Rams break the huddle. This is where we'll see what Carpenter wants to do with his feet. Straight drop, throws his ball, and it's caught. Nice one-hand catch by number 3. Just faded out and just let that ball drop right into him. Look at there. Good coverage on defense, but he did get turned around slightly. That could be the confidence booster that Carpenter needed. He's up under center again, got the I formation behind him. There's the give to the second man through, but he's hit hard by number 4 on the Warrior defense.
Brought down by the interior line of the Warriors. Will bring up 2nd down and 12 for the Rams.
Six minutes left to go in the half. Rams break the huddle. 2nd down, 11, whistle. Timeout by the Rams.
Trotwood.
Rams come over to the field talking with Coach Graham and Coach Williams about what they're going to be doing. Some kind of malfunction with the clock, because the clock I'm looking at now is down to 30 seconds.
For our fans here, we have to ask you to please clear the fence in the front. Legs have to clear the fence down by the track. Please, we have to clear the fence by the track.
We watch the clock run down.
And we also have to clear the fence in front of the bleachers.
See, the clock is,
So if you could, please.
we're going to call it 5:51. Okay, that was the clock for the timeout. So we got 5:51,
Tomorrow afternoon,
under center,
don't
Carpenter.
the messenger.
Straight drop, looking to throw, and he is hammered. He had no idea that was coming, and this guy had a run at him. No flag, perfectly good hit. He's just going to need to talk to his left tackle there, number 55, of what he was supposed to be doing there. Number 44 with the hammer down stop for the Warrior defense. Clock moving, 5:20 left here in the half. Rams under center, give to the first man through. Good 4-yard pickup on the play before he's brought down by the Warrior defense.
Quarterback dive. Gain of 4, brought down, players down on the play. It's going to bring up 4th down for the Rams.
So it looks like we're going to have a 4th down play after that gain of 4.
Some scores from around the
This is
area.
where the Warriors
Leads Mount Healthy.
execute this properly. They should have good field position. Maybe they can get a score before the half.
Trails Pickle 14-0 in the first quarter.
Have to see what they come up with here.
Opponents are scoreless in the first. Chaminade and Troy scoreless in the first. St. Ignatius 7, Springfield 7. Got a young man a hand. Tecumseh and Fairborn.
Okay, so here come the Warriors back out on the field. They send, looks like Tyreek Spikes back there to return this punt. Last time the Rams tried to run for what they could get, but I think this time they'll probably just go ahead and kick the ball to Spikes. Spikes over his head. Here comes everybody. Jailbreak to the ball. Winwood's ball down here on the Ram. 13-yard line. Let's see what the official calls it.
By the Warriors at the Trotwood 14-yard line.
So the Warriors on special teams, a couple nice plays to get them going full speed ahead to this end zone of the Rams. We're going to call this ball on the 14-yard line where the Warriors offense will come on out here, 1st and 10. See the replay, he had no chance. It looked like an alley-oop snap. And then the Warrior defender is right there on it. That's Mr. Number 8 there. There's the give inside. There's Ellery with the ball running people over, and he's down inside the 5-yard line with a B. That should be close to a first down. So it's going to be 1st and goal now for the Warriors. See what they want to do. This is where they got to get points. They can't come away empty-handed on this. There's Ellery. Gives the ball to Spikes, but they were waiting for Spikes on that one. Now, I don't want to jinx it, but Mother Nature has chilled a bit on the rain once again, but not the dark clouds. Okay, so here we are. Warriors looking at this second down play. 4 minutes left to go in the half.
Now we can get some noise going for Ram Nation. Let's go.
The Warriors, there's Ellery. He's got Tyreek Spikes behind him, man in motion. There's Ellery. He pitches the Spikes around right in. There's defenders waiting for him, and they got him shoved back, and the ball is fumbled out of bounds.
Option is run to the right. He just fumbled out of bounds.
See on the replay here where a couple nice blocks were thrown, but you're not going to get outside. These Rams look like they're matching speed outside pretty good with the Warriors. Very few teams do. So now we have a 3rd down and 9. Ellery back there waiting for the snap. He's rolling to his left. He throws his ball, and this ball is intercepted by the Rams. Down on the, looks like 3-yard line. This is where the Warriors did not need that. They needed to have some possibility of points. Thrown across his body like that. See on the replay. So 3:39 left to go in the half, and if the Rams are going to answer, they're going to have to drive the length of the field here before halftime. There they are on the ball. Under center. There's a give to the first man through. He breaks a couple tackles, and he's out to his own 7-yard line. It'll be 2nd down.
Stevens on the carry. Gain of 4. It's going to bring up 2nd and 6 for the Rams.
See where Ram Nation is starting to get more vocal about this. Under center now is Carpenter. Second man through gets the give, and he muscles in there for another yard or so. Ward defense, though, forces their will on that carry.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 4 for the Rams.
Looks like it's going to be 3rd and 3rd and 3 they're calling it. 2:37 left to go in the half. Clock moving. So here we are. Under center is Carpenter. Looks the defense over the ball. Looks like straight drop. It's caught by his receiver, but he can't get any yards after catch. Ward defender is there with him. Number 7, Mr. Number 7 here in this case.
Against the Rams.
.209 left to go. Looks like the Rams are going to be pushed back on this 5-yard penalty. Ball put down on their 5-yard line. The 3rd down.
Ball's on the 5 is going to bring up 3rd down and 9.
Well, this is where the Ward defenders got a chance to do themselves a solid by putting a move on these guys. They got them deep on their own 5. See what Carpenter comes up with here. He's got the eye backfield behind him. Give to the second fake, and he is tackled in the end zone. It looks like a safety. They're calling that a safety. That's right, the Ward defense. He should have just given it to the guy. Don't look like the Warriors are buying that fake, even though they know that this guy is probably respectable on his feet, but he didn't have time to do anything. He was hammered. That's Mr. Number 44 on that stop. And once again, I got to apologize, but my programs are basically a big old paper wad here. So that play only ran 4 seconds off the clock. So here comes the Warriors out here to receive this kick.
The free kick will be taken from the 20-yard line.
This is where they got to make sure they got enough time to go in here before half. Yeah, see, they did not honor that fake give to the first man through whatsoever.
Walker will be kicking off. Spikes and spears deep for the Warriors.
Okay, the officials pointing out a few things to the Rams special teams, presenting this ball to be kicked off. Oh, that's right, it's a free kick due to the safety, but it looks like he's going to put it on a tee and kick it off. Warriors got people waiting to receive just on their own 40. They got up man on the 50, and he steps up in the ball, and it's off. Picked up on the 40, straight north with the ball into the other side of the field, and he's brought down finally at the Madison Ram 47-yard line.
Warriors will take over 1st and 10.
2:01 left to go in the half. So 1st and 10, the Warriors come out on the field, their offense. Ball is on the Ram 46-yard line. Twins left, twins right. Kicks a man in motion. Ellery looking to run, but Ram defense is well aware of that now, and they don't allow it to go anywhere.
Ball down for a loss of 1.
Loss of 1 on the play. Clock rolling. 1:45 left to go in the half. So far in offense this year, we see the Warriors wanting to use spikes and Ellery to beat you with his feet where he can. But right now they need that pass. Straight drop, throws this ball over the middle, and it's caught. He breaks through would-be tacklers. He's still on his feet. 5 into the end zone, touchdown for the Winton Woods Warriors. No flags on the field. We'll see what we come up with here. Warriors getting ready. Here we see the replay here. Ellery claps the snap. He looks over and throws this ball. Looking pass right over the middle seam there. And he outruns would-be tacklers for a touchdown. So we see now Warriors getting ready to put the PAT on this. There's a snap, the hold is down, the kick is up, and that kick is good. So with 1:15 left to go in the half here at Trotwood Madison High School, we have a score of your Winton Woods Warriors 14 and the Trotwood Madison Rams nothing. That's right. I'm sorry. We had a safety, and it's 16-0. How could I forget that safety, and it just happened? That's the way to have an offense, though. The kind of offense where old heads can't keep up. Okay, so 1:15 left to go in the half. Warrior special teams are out here. Kick this thing off. Trotwood Madison Rams, they got receivers standing on their 13 and 18-yard line awaiting this kick. Again, on this replay, you see good blocking up front, and this is just a quick throw looking type of pass, and the seam and breaks tackles, just swatted this guy away, and he says, I'm hammered down. See you later here. That's right. So that again. Okay, so here's the Warriors special teams. Don't let up now in special teams, Warriors. My guess is they got someone that if you sleep, he'll go right around in on you. Here's the kick. High, in over in. And it's going to land in the Ram end zone.
Kick goes out of the end zone for a touchback. Rams will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Okay, so here the Rams break the huddle. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Carpenter's got the I formation behind him. He looks up and throws this ball out in the left flat, and it's complete. Receiver is able to matriculate his way up to the 27, 28-yard line.
Gain of 6, going to bring up 2nd and 4 for the Rams.
Okay, so here we are. The Rams breaking this long huddle. Coming up on the ball. 37 seconds left to go in the half. Keep everything in front of you, Warrior defense. There's a throw over to the left flat again and complete, but he can't get much yard after catch. Mr. Number 44 is there to say, I don't think so. You see on the replay, again, it throws his ball. The Warrior defense is properly suspect. Oh, here we go on the snap, and the ball's out on the floor, but the Rams are able to fall on it. Clock is moving down to 4, 3.
Recovered by the Rams.
And that looks like the end of the first half here from Trotwood Madison High School here, where we have a score of your Winton Woods Warriors 16 and the home Trotwood Madison Rams nothing. Waycross Community Media will be back with more after halftime. This program is made possible by More Air, Heating, Cooling, and Mechanical, Residential and Commercial. program is made possible by More Air, Heating, Cooling, and Mechanical, Residential and Commercial. Welcome to the second half of tonight's OHSAA action between the Winton Woods Warriors and the Trotwood Madison Rams, where we have a score here of the Warriors up 16-0 over the Rams. As we get ready to start the second half of this game, I got a couple of stats here from the first half. First downs tied at 4 each. Net rushing yards, 14. Rushes for 10 yards for Winton Woods, and then on Trotwood Madison they had 20 rushes for minus 49. Passes, Winton Woods 2 of 7. One completion, that's for a touchdown. Trotwood Madison 6 of 8. No interceptions. Now let's go down here. Rushing, Buddy Ellery for Warriors. 4 attempts for 16 yards with a long of 13. James Minor, the third, 2 attempts for 8 yards with a net of 8 yards with a long of 12. Antonio Turner Jr., 1 attempt minus 5 yards. Passing, Buddy Ellery, 2 of 6, 1 interception for 54 yards and 2 touchdowns. You see on the other side, Timothy Carpenter of the Rams, 6 of 8, no interceptions, 53 yards and a long of 24 yards. So we see the teams getting ready, start the second half. Got the officials going over things, waiting for this clock to run down, which we are at 59 seconds. So the Warriors, again, they're starting their new era, their new regime under Coach Chad Murphy here on the road up here at Trotwood Madison Rams. They'll Trotwood Madison Rams are in Division III now. But when they were in Division II along with the Warriors, they had some classic playoff showdowns. And Mo Douglas has moved on, and now Coach Andre Parker has moved on, where last night his Princeton Vikings took care of business. And they handled the Anderson Raptors. They handled the Raptors, and so we could we could see that the Anderson Raptors will still be competitive. Winton Woods Warriors, they're in this new conference, or not new, they're in their second year in it now, ECC, and they shared the title last year from what I was told. So, but they're ready to kick this thing off now, and we see Warriors special teams on this ball. Players waving. Dan Umba Dombele kicks this thing off, and Rams have it, but he's being rudely thrown down by the Warriors special teams, and Rams are going to put this thing in gear on their own 23-yard line.
Rams take over first and 10.
See here on the replay, nice high kick out in the air. Run straight north with the ball, but looks like the footing is going to be a little bit iffy here. Okay, so we got a guy still on the ground. It's number 3 that returned his kick.
Ball was spotted at the 23. Rams will take over first and 10.
I just hope that by starting the season on the road with the Warriors, that I hope it's a good sign that their season will end with a long road trip. We'll have to see. But Coach Chad Murphy, in his first year at the program, he brings in a lot of good talent. Players pick up things from him well. They want to play for him. Then, Coach Parker left him some good talent on the shelf. And just have to see where the season takes him. This 2021 campaign probably have some of the weird things, twists and turns that the 2020 campaign had. But here we are, Trotwood Madison Rams.
First and 10, Trotwood at their own 23.
Carpenter gives to the second man through. He's hit, stood up, but he's not down. The whistle hasn't blown, and the late whistle finally blows there. A lot of stout defenders there for the Warriors. Number 25, Cameron Calhoun amongst them.
Gain of 2 on the carry.
See on the replay. Number 9 also in there. So the Warriors on defense are going to be bringing plenty of gang tackling. Under center now on the second down. Carpenter straight back looking to throw this ball. But he's hammered down in the backfield for a big loss. That's number 44 on the stop back there on him. That's Jaden Denton, a 6'3", 235-pound senior.
Yes,
See, Denton. That was just that blocker never had a chance against him. So it's going to bring it to the third down, 3rd and 15. Clock moving, 10:33 left to go in the third quarter here. Under center. There's a turn and give to the first man through, but he is rudely thrown to the floor by the Warrior defense.
Down at the line of scrimmage is going to bring up 4th down for the Rams.
The Rams are going to be facing this 4th down now. We see again a replay where this guy's just hammered down here. Fourth down and 17. Rams standing deep, 5-yard line, waiting. Ball's over his head. It's going to be in the end zone. He's going to have to kick it out for another safety there.
Snap rolls out of the end zone for a safety.
So, Winwood's Warriors have coaxed another safety out of these guys.
18-0 for the Warriors.
That's number 7, Jermaine Matthews Jr. Good defensive play for the Warriors. 6 foot, 175-pound defensive back. We see the moon getting ready to make its appearance in the sky up there. Okay, so here's Trotwood Madison getting ready to make this free kick to the Warriors. Looks like he's going to put it down on a tee. Got Warriors standing on their 35-yard line. And the Rams step into it and it's off. Low kick. Got him funny intentions. Pick it up to Spikes. He's around left end. He's run through some tacklers, still on his feet. Still on his feet, but there's 2 flags on the play now. Down here to the 30-yard line where he's shoved out of bounds by the Trotwood Madison Rams. Special teams, but the officials are going to have to address some things about this here. .9:32 left to go in the third quarter. We have a score of the Winton Woods Warriors 18 and the Trotwood Madison Rams nothing. We see Tyreek Spikes. He's getting decent blocks and he's twisting out of tackles and he wants it bad here. And he's finally hammered out of bounds. That looked like helmet to helmet.
Block in the back against the Warriors.
So this is going to back the Warriors up all the way to their side of the field. Looks like the official's going to set it down on the Warrior 45-yard line. See on this replay again. You know, Spikes plants his foot and changes direction and twists out of that arm tackle and still on his feet. Twisting again, like he did last summer maybe. Still. But then when he does make this contact, it looked helmet to helmet. Spikes again running through there. Nice pickup. Looks like it's close to a first down.
New quarterback Ian Lawson for the Warriors. Handoff goes, gain of 9.
So it looks like we got Logan Lawson in the game now for the Warriors. Number 17, 6 foot, 220 pound. Senior quarterback. It's a big guy, this Logan Lawson. I think he was wearing number 19 last year. So he got some man in motion. Gives to the man in motion. Number 12, he's around left in, runs through a tackle, still on his feet. Looks like he's down here to near the 35-yard line of the Rams.
Ball around the end. Flag flies in late.
That's Antonio Turner Jr., 5'8", 160 pounds. Looks like they're calling this play back. Yeah, there's a block in the back there. Looks like the O-lineman, number 62, Will Edwards, senior O-lineman, took on the wrong side of his shirt there. Okay, so here's the Warriors over the ball again. They're going to call it 3rd and 10. Ball on the Warrior 45-yard line. 2nd and 10. Ball on the 45-yard line. Here's Logan Lawson with the snap. He gives the Spikes. Spikes runs through a hole. Picks up good yardage. Close to a first down. It's like he might be a yard short here.
Brought down by Smith.
Nice plant. Spikes looks like he's picking up where he left off last year.
For the Warriors at the Ram 47-yard line.
So here we are, the Warriors offense here. Looking to advance this ball. Fakes to give to Spikes. Lawson runs it in there himself for a good pickup. Looks like he's got this ball down to the 41-yard line of the Rams. Would it be a first down? Yeah, Lawson, he likes to run that ball. I think last year he was wearing number 19. He reminded me of Big Birdie Kosar with that 19 on his back last year. Okay, there's Spikes again around right in, but the Ram defense up to the challenge and matching speed with Spikes before he could get to the corner.
Tries the right end, stop for no gain. Going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Warriors.
So we'll have to see 7:19 left to go here in the third quarter. 2nd and 10. This is where this is a part of the field where anybody playing quarterback for the Warriors will throw the ball from this part of the field. We'll see what Lawson comes up with. He's got, looks like the Rams are going to try to come and get him. Yeah, he's looking to throw this ball. Deep pass down the right sideline over everybody's head, incomplete.
Quarterback's pass out of bounds.
So that stops the clock with 6:51 here. Yeah, Warrior Nation
It's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Warriors.
Competing in this ECC conference. They don't want any mystery about the final result this year, and they're going to start out by wanting to drop the hammer right now. Lawson back there with Spikes. Calls Spikes up next to him. Straight drop. Lawson looking to throw this ball. Lawson flushed out of the pocket. He's going to pull it down and run on his own, and he get what he can before they knock him out of bounds. Looks like on the Ram 37-yard line. Holding call against the Warriors, nullifying that run.
Defensive line has been accosted. Holding Warriors.
It's going to move this ball back. The Warriors now in their own territory at their own 44-yard line. Or to be 3rd. Third and 25. I don't know if Chad Murphy has anything in his playbook for this, but biggest thing now is to just execute and don't give up any big loss. Lawson throws his ball, screen pass over the middle. He runs through a tackle. Spikes is hit hard and hammered though. To his credit, that's number 2. Michael Smith, 5'10", 165-pound sophomore defensive back. That was a Saturday afternoon tackle right there. You know, because Spikes was going to get some serious giddy up had he not stopped the show on him there. So Spikes is still down, looks like here. Got the athletic trainer, Miss Becca, looking at him. Looks like she's trying to stretch him out some. Meanwhile, the Warrior offense is over on the other side of the field talking to Coach Murphy and his assistants about what they're going to do here. It's like now that the rain has left town, it's a nice little evening here. Trotwood Madison, gracious enough to host this game. And I'm sure LaSalle and Kings, they'll be gracious to host them next few weeks here too. But that's the way it goes there at Frederick Stadium. They got the big conclusion of the big rebuild up there, brand new school, athletic facilities have to be updated to fit everything they got going on there. But my guess is by the time the 2021 campaign is over, that they'll be hosting one playoff game here.
Good young man in hand.
Okay, so that wasn't Spikes down. That was number 2, Derek Lawson, that was down.
This time I'd be remiss if we don't recognize our Ram Nation cheerleading squad. Let's give it up for our cheerleaders down there on the track.
So,
I mean, you can give them some spirit fingers.
6:14, 4th and 10. It's like the Warriors are going to punt, and Rams are standing on their own 10, 20-yard line to receive this kick. This is where special teams has to hold up. Can't let these guys get back into the game with some kind of mistake. The kick is up high, and it's going to touch up at the 17-yard line, looks like, where the Warriors have a touchdown.
17-yard line. Rams will take over 1st and 10.
That's number 44, Jaden Denton. 6'3", 235-pound defense tackle that touches that ball up for the Warriors. Looking down to the north end zone, and I'm seeing where the concession stand is overflowing. Looks like people lined up down there to wait, catch a helicopter down there at that concession stand. Okay, so here we go, under center. Carpenter, there's whistle on the play before he makes the give. Legal procedure against the Rams. It'll back them up.
False start. Rams. 5-yard penalty. First and 15.
So the Rams offense addressing his first down 15 play. Deep in their territory. It's like on their 12-yard line, under center, Carpenter. Shouting out some type of audible. Turns and gives, first man through, and he can't make about 3 yards is about it. And we see on the replay, there's the give to number 28, and to his credit, he's just run straight to where the hole's supposed to be. No dipping and dodging, just go forward.
The ball carrier. Brought down after a gain of 2. It's going to bring up second and 13.
Looks like we got a Trotwood Madison Ram down now being stretched out. Looks like this is turning into a game of attrition now on us. I don't have any scores that I can give you other than the scores that I occasionally overhear from the PA announcer here at Trotwood Madison. But I did hear a score a while ago that stood out at the time where Lakota West was beating St. X 14-3, I believe. So Coach Bolden, you know, he may have went out there in new pastures and trying to do the same type of deal he was working at the bird cage for years. Okay, so here's Carpenter. Ball's out on the ground. Who's on it? Carpenter able to fall right back on it. So Carpenter has cool head, knows how to deal with adversity. Collected itself calmly and fell on that ball that dropped out. We see here on the replay. Yeah, he's right there for him. So here we are, the Rams. Looks like they're going to set it up on their 11-yard line. 3rd and 16. Under center. Carpenter drop, throws his ball. It's caught. First down pickup.
Pass is complete to Blanton.
Delmar Blanton on the catch. So first down here. It's like number 23, Lorenzo Hudson, junior defensive back on the stop. Oh, here comes the Rams out of the shadow of their goal now. Under center. Straight drop again by Carpenter, looking to throw, plenty of time. And over the hands of his outstretched hands of his receiver there.
Intended for Garrett, incomplete. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Second and 10 here. 4:24 left to go in the 3rd quarter. The Rams break the huddle. Still looking at the short end of an 18-0 deficit. First man through, still on his feet. Good yardage. Finally dragged down by the Ward defense.
Johnson on the carry. 5 yards on the play. He's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Looks like number 55, Wyland Gover, 5'11", 240-pound defensive offensive lineman, was key in that stop. See the Rams over the ball under center. Carpenter straight drop, looking to throw, pulls it in, and he's trying to run, and Ward defense is able to stop him. Looks like a little bit short of the first down. And all the official is saying they're calling it a first down on the play.
Enough for the first down.
Yeah, Carpenter again, he knows what to do. If he has to do it himself, he will. None of this, well, I'll just throw an incomplete pass. I mean, there's times for that, but if you got a guy with some wheels, best thing is to let him see if he can beat these defenders and give him more to think about. So here we are, straight drop, throws this ball over the middle. It's going to be incomplete.
Carpenter's pass intended for Blanton. Pass incomplete.
Second and 10. Ball on the 43-yard line. We're substituting on defense. Sending number 51, Camden Fuller, into the game, a 6'3", 300-pounder. There's the give, number 11. He can't get outside, and they got him stopped for loss about 2 yards.
Loss of 3.
That's Reggie McComb.
Loss of 2 is going to bring up 3rd and 12.
2-yard loss to make this a 3rd down and 12. Clock moving at 2:40 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Here's Timothy Carpenter back out on the field. Timothy Carpenter the 3rd. Carpenter looking it over. Straight drop. Protection. He's got this ball complete. No yards after catch, so it's gonna looks like it's gonna be about a 5-yard gain.
Flag on the play.
Another flag.
Holding.
So that's gonna be holding against the Rams and bring that back, nullifying it.
Called against the Rams. Warriors will accept the penalty. Replay.
Nice catch though. This is where the Trotwood Madison Ram offensive line is going to have to figure out a way to look inside themselves for something that they can come up with to vault their team back into the possibility of winning this game. Clock moving down under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter now. Carpenter, straight drop. He got him flushed out, and he's down. Looks like he slipped up a little bit. Traction probably isn't all that great at this point. See on the replay, Timothy Carpenter the 3rd, he knows he has to pull it in and run for what he could get, and if he had some traction there, he might have been able to do some serious running. So here we are, the Rams looking to kick this ball. Warriors have somebody standing on their 35-yard line to receive this punt. There's the snap, the kick is low. Spikes runs up and catches it. He's still in his hands, and he's able to make it to the 40-yard line. Somewhat dangerous, but he was able to maintain possession.
Turner's taken down at the 40-yard line. Warriors will take over 1st and 10.
Oh, here comes the Warriors offense. Back on the field. Led out there by number 17, Logan Lawson. 6 foot, 220-pound senior quarterback. We don't know what happened to Buddy Ellery. But Buddy Ellery was able to put 2 points off, 2 touchdowns on the board. There's the give. Still on his feet. Looks like he muscles for a good 3-yard gain. Clock moving. About 43 seconds now. This is where the Warrior offense can probably sense that as long as they can keep making these blocks, keep this clock running, chains moving, whistle blowing, dirty laundry not showing. Here's Lawson, he snaps to snap, and he's still on his feet. He's able to muscle his way in there for a yard.
Gain of 2, going to bring up 3rd down and 6.
So we got this 3rd and 6 as the 3rd quarter draws to an end.
It's going to bring the 3rd quarter to a close.
So
with 1 left to go.
That's the end of 3 quarters here for Trotwood Madison High School. We have a score of your Winton Woods Warriors 18 and the Trotwood Madison Rams nothing.
Score from around the area. Hamilton 29, West Claremont 28 at the half. 3rd quarter, Tecumseh 20, Fairborn 7. Entering into the 4th. Mercy Clark inactive.
See Trey.
54, Belmont 0.
Trey Williams,
3rd quarter, Chaminade
assistant coach of the Trotwood Madison Rams, imploring these Rams to, hey guys, send these guys back to Kemper Road on the short end of this game, but with only 1 quarter left to go in this affair, I don't know what kind of move the Rams can do to get back in this here.
27 at the half over Beaver Creek. And in the 4th quarter, Wayne 37, Dunbar 42.
So here we go, the Warrior offense. There's Lawson rolling to his left. He stops, they're gonna run him down in the backfield for a sack.
Quarterback is sacked in the backfield.
That's the Trotwood Madison defense that they all remember.
We'll have none of that rolling out.
Well, Trotwood Madison Rams, they're defending state champs in Division III, so they haven't shown much of that medal tonight. So it looks like the Warriors are going to be forced to punt this ball. Rams got up back standing at his own 38, and they got a guy deeper standing at his 22. Kick is off, high end over end kick. Touches up, looks like it's going to roll. Take a nice Warrior roll inside the 20-yard line here.
Front row's good at the 20-yard line. Rams will take over 1st and 10.
So this is where, with 10:59 left, Rams is going to have to matriculate this ball out of their end of the field.
Some other scores: Marion Local 16, Wapakoneta 0, Milford 28, Edgewood 7. 3rd quarter score: LaSalle 17, Coleraine 7.
So we are here. LaSalle is up on Coleraine 17-7. There's a give, nice yardage. Nice yardage there. The Warrior defense coming up to make the stop. We see on the replay, inside give. put a shoulder in him in a wrap.
Correct, a gain of 3.
Good gang tackling for the Warrior defense. So the Warrior defensive line looks like I see Camden Fuller, number 51 down there, 6'3", 300-pounder. Number 51. Here's Carpenter. Got the snap. He's dropping straight back. Throws his ball over down the sideline, and it's incomplete. Nice defense put on by Winton Woods Warrior, number 7, Jermaine Matthews Jr., 6 foot, 175 pounds. And he's a junior. That's good D right there when you come up and make that. Yes, indeed. If that play didn't work out, that guy might still be running. So the Rams break the huddle. I'll have to keep my eye on this Carpenter, the third. Straight drop, but they're in on him. They got him swallowed. And they sack him down inside his 15-yard line. Timothy Carpenter, the third. He took a big hit there. Again, some of these woes that the Rams seem to be having tonight are directly related to situations on their offensive line. So the Rams are going to be punting this ball over to the Warriors on his 4th and 15. Standing on his 3. The kick is up. Spikes picks it up on his 43. He's running around right in. He's still on his feet down inside the 20-yard line. Where the Warrior offense will come out and see about some insurance points.
For the 16-yard line. The Warriors will take over 1st and 10 from the Rams 16.
So it looks like this first week of OHSAA football for the Warriors and the Rams are coming to a close, and hopefully both teams will have plenty of opportunities to show who they are during the remainder of the campaign with no interruptions, but we'll just have to see. Lawson, straight drop, throws this ball in the end zone, and this ball is up for grabs, but incomplete. On target, just a 50-50 ball.
Falls incomplete out of bounds.
Okay, we got a flag in the end zone, though. We'll see what this comes up being. It's like they're going to march just against the Rams. I see Warriors. Pass interference against the Warriors, against the Rams. So half the distance to the goal. This will put the ball on about the 3-yard line or 4-yard line.
I'm sorry, 1st down, 1st and 3.
So it's going to be 1st and goal now. See on the replay here. Here's Lawson waiting for the snap. Gives it to the first man through Spikes. Spikes is muscling his way to line of scrimmage, but he doesn't make much.
Back here tries to middle of the line. It'll now be 2nd and goal. The flag down on the play.
So that flag there must involve something where wrong thing could have been said. Unsportsmanlike on the Rams. Well, I don't know how that happened exactly. Whether bad rumor was said about somebody, and something could have been
Indication
said
is
about the
unsportsmanlike
officials. I don't
conduct
know. I don't want to guess.
against the Rams. It's going to be second and goal from the 3-yard line.
Second and goal now. There's the give to Spikes. Another flag on the play. Or was that a flag?
Ball carrier is brought down in the backfield. It's going to bring up third and goal from the 6, it looks like, is where it's spotted.
Well, they're going to call this third and goal. 8:20 left to go here in the game. And Warriors need to make sure that they score here. This is one where you'll see Lawson probably doing the same thing and just keep the ball this time. No, he straight drop throws his ball out of bounds, incomplete.
Lawson's pass sails out of the end zone, incomplete. Going to bring up fourth and goal for the Warriors.
Okay, so on this fourth down, at some point the Warriors want to figure out what they got in their kicking game, so they're sending their kicker out there. So we're going to try this field goal for the Warriors. This is Dan Umba Dombele Jr., place kicker, number 87 for the Warriors.
Dombele to attempt the 22-yard field goal.
Looks like the Rams jumped offside, made contact.
Offsides against the Rams.
With that half the distance to the goal penalty, the Warriors look like they want to send their offense out there, but I'm guessing they might as well let this guy kick a field goal because he's going to need to know what he's capable of as their season moves on into next week. Chad Murphy's got the guys over there discussing what they're going to do, and yeah, they're still going to try this field goal.
To make this a 20-yard attempt.
20-yard field goal attempt, 7:49 left to go. The hold is down. The kick is up.
The attempt at the 3 is no good.
And that kick is no good.
Through the end zone for a touchback.
So with 7:47 left to go in the game here, we have a score of your Winton Woods Warriors 18 and the Trotwood Madison Rams nothing. That's the More Air score of this game. More Air again. Can't thank these guys enough. Sponsoring the WCM, Waycross Community Media. Coverage of OHSAA sports this year. We're starting it off on the road, and hopefully we'll be ending it on the road. Okay, so here come the Trotwood Madison Rams on offense. There's a give, jet sweep, but the Warrior defenders just got too much speed. Too much speed. I've been watching the Warrior defense shut that play down for about 15 years now. I don't care who they're playing. Nobody gets to the outside like that on them on a jet sweep.
Second and 11.
So it looks to me the first game for the Warrior defense under Coach Chad Murphy is being effectively played. Took a long bus ride up here, but didn't lose focus on what they were going to do. And he is down for a sack again.
Quarterback is sacked in the backfield for a loss. going to bring up 3rd and 20 for the Rams.
3rd and 20 now, and Timothy Carpenter III, he's going to wake up in the morning seeing white and blue jerseys all over him. Trotwood Madison Rams, a defending state champs, so they're going to have to work on this O-line. It looks to me if they protect this guy, he could be a problem for folks. So he's back there. He's got twins left and right. Whistle, timeout.
Timeout, Trotwood. At this time, if you need to contact someone for a ride home, we encourage you to do so at this moment. If you need to contact someone for a ride home, please do so at this time.
Trotwood Madison Ram cheerleading staff trying to give the folks local something to feel good about as they go through their dance routine, stomp routine there.
Next week, the Warriors travel to LaSalle to take on the Lancers, and your Trotwood Madison Rams will travel to play the Fairmont Firebirds.
Okay, so we're getting ready to put this play in gear. .6:13 left to go in the affair. Carpenter under center. Got one back behind him. Somebody's going to try to burn somebody deep. No, he hands it off. And Warrior defense is waiting.
The draw play goes for no gain. It's going to bring up 4th down and 20 for the Rams.
Nice play. That's number 9 on the stop. Kirsten Williams, 6 foot, 230 pound, linebacker, junior. Yeah, they're going to punt this ball. Got a Warrior standing on the Trotwood Madison 37-yard line awaiting his kick. Clock running, 5:30 left to go in the game. There's the snap. High kick. Spikes gets away from it. Spikes follows it to the 50, looks at it as it rolls to the 48-yard line of the Warriors, where the Warriors have put it in gear on their own 48.
At the Warrior 48-yard line.
Looks like we got a Warrior down on the goal line.
Flag on the play is
so we'll see what they come up with. We do have a okay, so that ball, that's going to be roughing the kicker. Rams are going to keep this ball. Got a roughing the kicker and an unsportsmanlike conduct. So these kind of offset, I'm guessing.
the flag was
Original flag was for roughing the kicker, and then due to some extracurriculars,
it's going to be a 15-yard penalty and automatic 1st down for the Rams.
looks like due to the way this is going to shake out, the Rams are going to keep the ball. And looks like they're going to put it in play now on their 25-yard line where the officials are standing. Their offense comes out on the field. Here comes the Warriors defense. 5:11 left to go. This is where, you know, you want to make this the best possible outcome for Coach Murphy on his original game. with the Warriors, so this means keeping everything in front of you in these last few minutes of this game, because I'm sure the Rams are going to try to pull out all the stops. I'm sure, though, I'll be knowing more about the exploits of this Mr. Number 10 for them, Mr. Carpenter, the third. There's a give. Man, still on his feet. Looks like he's close to a first down.
Gain of 6.
Okay, gain of 6 on the play. No huddle now for the Rams. They're right up on the ball again. In the shotgun, there's a snap. Carpenter, straight drop, throwing this ball. Incomplete over the middle. In and out of the hands of number 13, Desmond Smith.
It's going to bring up third down, 4 for the Rams.
Here come the Rams up on the ball. Carpenter in the shotgun. He's looking to straight drop. They flush him out of the pocket, and he's hammered down for a loss.
Quarterback is sacked. It's going to bring up fourth down for the Rams.
It's like Jaron Gibson, 6 foot, 250-pound senior, had much to do with that stop. It's like we got a Warrior down about the 40-yard line. Trainer, young Miss Becca's working overtime, stretching these guys' limbs out. This is her second season. She started last year with the Warriors. Took them into the playoffs, a couple rounds. Ooh, you see on that replay where he is hammered. Who's that? Number 58 come in there on him. That's Taryn Macklin, a 5'11", 295-pounder. It's like Tyreek Spikes is waiting for this kick now, standing on his 45-yard line. And the kick is off. Spikes under it. He got it at the 45. Twisted dips, still on his feet to the 40-yard line of the Trotwood Madison Rams, where the Warrior offense will put it in gear with 4:17 left to go.
40-yard line.
Another Warrior down. Looks like this is going to be Spikes, but he's going to... No, he went back down to see what they can do.
You need to call for a ride. You call for that now.
Yeah, Spikes took a hard hit on that.
Updates as they attend to the young man. Baden 27, Mount Healthy 7. Chaminade 35, Troy 20.
Friendly fire.
Xenia 26, Beaver Creek 14. Tip City and Bellbrook knotted up at 14. Miamisburg 14, West Carrollton 7. Ross 41, Wilmington 31.
That's not the kind of hit that Spikes needed.
Final score, Pickle 54, Belmont 0. West Jefferson up on Urbana 28-13. Valley View 22, Springfield Shawnee 7.
Yeah, it's a good thing that didn't happen earlier in the game when we
Northmont
had all that
13,
rain.
Butler 7. LaSalle 20, Colerain 14. Marymount 29, Oakwood 10.
Heard a
Centerville
score where
21,
LaSalle
17 in the third quarter.
is beating Colerain 20-14. Of course, LaSalle will be the next opponent for the Winton Woods Warriors.
Springfield Central Catholic 34.
That game will be held at LaSalle. Of course, last time I saw the Winton Woods Warriors play LaSalle at LaSalle, that was a fine ending for the Warriors in that game. Of course, that was then and this is now, but I'm getting to where I can remember some fine ball games put in by the Warriors over the year. Saw some fine ball being played by teams coached by Chad Murphy. When Chad Murphy was coaching Northwest, they were in the playoffs. They played very respectable football. So here we are. The Warriors. There's Lawson. He gives the ball to number 8 around right in. He stops and moves upfield, and he's running through people, and they still don't got him down yet. Finally, get him stopped. Looks like he's got close to 5-yard gain.
Gain of 5.
That's Tajay Frazier.
Second and 6 for the Warriors.
5'9", 170-pound senior. Second and 6. Ball on the 36-yard line. There's Lawson. He gives the spikes around right in, but again, the defense of the Rams is just not going to let him get there.
Number 20, Minor on the carry.
Oh, this.
Brought down by Michael Smith.
That's James Minor III on that carry, excuse me. 5'9", 185-pound junior.
Ball on the 37-yard line of Trotwood. The third down.
Clock moving. Down to the 3-minute mark left to go in this affair. Lawson got spikes next to him. Keeps the ball self, and they're in on him. Tackled for a loss.
Quarterback is brought down in the backfield. Loss of 6. Going to bring up 4th down, 11.
So this 4th down play is going to mean the Warriors are going to punt this ball over to the Rams. The Rams will send number 1, Dylan Heflin, back there. 5'10", 165-pound senior. They'll have him standing on his 10-yard line. That's where the Warriors, again, want to make sure they stay on their toes at this play. Kick is up. High kick. It touched somebody. It looks like it touched a Warrior. And then it was picked up by a Ram. You know, there's about 3 yards difference.
Warrior at the 24.
Clock now under 2 minutes left to go at 1:56.
Ball is dead by contact.
Getting late in this game, I want to thank More Air once again for sponsoring Waycross Community Media OHSAA football. You know, this is well into about 3-4 years for them doing this now. And so what they give to our young talent, our young students is immeasurable. Okay, so the Rams, here they go. First down. Carpenter got trips right. Looks like he's going to throw the hail if. And this ball's caught by number 1. He's trying to get out of bounds, and he finally works his way out of bounds. Not till he picks up a first down. No flags on the play. You see now where, as this game approaches its conclusion, you know, up there in the sky, we got one of those Barnabas Collins looking moons up there now with the clouds around it. Okay, here's Carpenter waiting for the snap. He's drawing, he's looking to throw this ball incomplete.
Carpenter's pass, intended for Heflin, incomplete. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Flag on the play.
Flag here on the play.
Sideline warning.
Sideline warning. This is where the teams got to respect the game. You know, that guy had it in his hands and he didn't hold on. Carpenter got trips to his left and looking that way. His O-line can protect him. He can make a good series heave. He throws his ball to the right, but no way. It's like the word defense is we want to maintain this shutout, and we're not going to take a play off and let you lull us into sleep to ruin this shutout.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 15 for the Rams.
So 3rd and 15 now for the Rams as they break the huddle. Whistle.
Delay game, Rams.
Delay game for the Rams here. They'll move back. I like what I see with the Warriors defense this year so far. Already.
Flag on the play. Sideline warning.
You know, they're playing up to good par already. They lost some key personnel last year on their defense.
So this time it's a 15-yard penalty. Must admit it's the first time I've ever seen in my 45 years of life 2 sideline warning penalties actually called.
Okay, so here we are. 4th and 35 for the Rams. Ball on their 10. Carpenter's going to take it himself when he gets shoved out of bounds.
Carpenter takes the ball around the right end. He's driven out of bounds after a gain of about 4.
Okay, so the clock and the down marker, is that a 3? Now it's a 4. Okay, so they're calling it 4th and 32. 1:35 left to go in the game.
Bring up 4th and long for the Rams as the Rams line up a punt.
Spikes looks like he's standing on his the Trotwood Madison 45-yard line awaiting his kick. And the kick is up. And it's going to be down on the Trotwood Madison 39-yard line. So next week, Waycross Community Media will be bringing the WCM to cover the Coleraine High School game. Uh, I don't know who they're playing. Oh, they're playing St. X. Oh, well, they're covering the St. X game then.
Warriors will take over 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Looks like looks like Winton Woods is going into victory formation. That's what I get for being smart about Cole. And they'll take the knee. So
Quarterback takes a knee.
once again, as this game approaches its rightful conclusion, and by that I mean Winton Woods Warriors are going to be the winners of this game. I want to thank More Air for stepping in and sponsoring the hard work committed by our youth in Forest Park, Ohio. I want to thank Waycross Community Media, the WCM, for bringing the action again this year. So another snap for victory formation. Want to congratulate Coach Chad Murphy to get his era of Winton Woods Warrior football off on a good foot. And thank all his coaching staff and players for believing in him. Clock down at 21. Also want to thank Waycross Community Media and all its resources for covering this game as the teams come out to the 50 to respect the game. We had Tony in the truck, Dan, Chester. So it looks like that's going to do it. 000 from Trotwood, Madison. We have a final score of your Winton Woods Warriors 18 and the Trotwood Madison Rams nothing. This is Jacob Williams. Glad to be here covering the game tonight with all the resources of Waycross Community Media. We will see you next week over at the Birdcage for that game. So thanks a lot for coming out, and we'll see you soon.